Now you're live.
Good evening, folks. Good evening, folks. It's our first of the year, Talkin Tackle.
Talkin Tackle.
I know we did quite a few of them last year, a couple years ago. But our first one of the year, we're back in action here. And we're going to be discussing some hooks tonight. But we're
in our shed here where we sell the tickets. So the boat's down in Mamaroneck.
Yep.
We're getting a lot of work done down there. We're having 2 new generators put in. We're having the boat's going to be glass beaded, blasted, and
it's going to look nice.
Painted. You're going to see. It's going to look nice. You're right.
We'll be going down there tomorrow, do a little work, but that's what we wanted to discuss that with you first. The boat will be here relatively soon, and we'll be fishing before we know it.
Yep.
So we're going to do these Talkin Tackles here once a week. We look for comments and feedback from you guys, and you got to remember, this is our opinion. So what we're telling you tonight and what we're going to go over and discuss, like I said, our opinion. Everybody's entitled to theirs, and your opinion might be different than ours, which is fine.
You can talk to somebody else and get a different idea. That's all well and good. This is what we do on the Black Hawk. It seems to work very, very good for us, and we'd like to share that knowledge. Share that experience with you. Try to get you out of the dark a little bit. And there's no other person to get you out of the dark than C.J. Adams, who's been in the dark quite some time every now and again.
Yeah, I've been in the dark a little bit. But
that's
anyhow, okay. Go ahead.
Comments. We've got a lot of comments of topics to talk about, and we keep asking for more. I know we go over a lot of this stuff time and time again, but this is what people want to hear. So it's I know some of you have probably already seen this or heard this, but tell us what you want. I mean, we literally had hundreds of comments, emails of this, that, this, that. So
we kind of got to draw a line on certain things.
We're doing the best we can with what people want to hear. So if you've got something, please.
If you have questions during this several-minute video here, don't hesitate to ask. Glenn could always read them off.
Does it come on that?
It will. It'll come
It'll show up.
You could, Glenn.
Glenn is the film boy.
If people are saying hi, Glenn, you tell us. We could always say hello to everybody as well.
Well, Denise said it looks cold in here.
We can see our breath.
You can see our breath. It is cold.
It's a little chilly. It's not too bad though.
Okay.
Anyways, from time and time again, year in and year out, we see a lot of customers show up on the boat with circle hooks. Okay. Now, circle hooks are a great hook. They are designed to do the job themselves. They are not the best hook for all species of fish. Okay. Springtime porgy. Okay. Circle hooks are not what you want, quite frankly, because you got to set the hook. These are, I know that we have small hooks, Glenn. If you want to come over here, we have a little label here. We'll go over a couple things. Start with this. Springtime scup, okay? 1-0s, 2-0s, 3-0s. Now, there's a variety of them. All right? Glenn, you can back up. I'll show everybody.
Back up, Glenn.
I know they're small. We're doing the best we can.
For the love of God, back up, Glenn.
This is a 2-0 octopus hook. Small. Scup have small mouths. Remember that. Especially in the spring. They're finicky. Use a small hook. Small piece of bait. Some hooks.
A lot of people, that's talking about bait. A lot of customers load up those.
Yeah.
They load that hook up with so much bait. We cut the bait to size, and they'll put 4 or 5 pieces on there. And don't get me wrong, they're going to bite it, but you can't hook them.
This is another 2-0 octopus hook. It's got some feathers or hair on it, whatever you want to call it. Personally, in my opinion, now like I said, our opinion, I don't care for the hair. Some people do. I think it gets in the way. Sometimes it slides down, gets in the way of the bait. I prefer just putting a piece of bait on and dropping to the bottom and setting the hook. This is what we see. This is a small circle hook in comparison. So we have a big one. This is a big circle hook. We're just using this for example, okay? See how it's curved at the end? That's a circle hook. We see a lot of people show up with this in the spring. Use for example, okay? Not necessarily this one.
This is a shark hook.
Yes.
Just so you know.
But the curved at the end. The circle hooks will not do the job as efficient as an octopus hook, okay? Or a J hook for that matter. So do yourself a favor. That's why we labeled these for you. Study them. Get yourselves the right hooks. Not the number 1s or the number 2s and number 3s. You have to go 1-0, 2-0, 3-0. That's important as well. We move on to, Glenn, you can come on over here. Summer scup, sea bass. The fish start to get a little bigger in the summer. The hooks get a little bigger, okay? 3-0, 4-0, octopus hook.
And we're cutting the bait different.
That's right.
And we're cutting the bait different.
So you gradually, as you increase through the season, the fish get a little bigger. We're fishing on different pieces of bottom. Then we move on to this. Everybody likes this. This is the most popular time of the year, I think, for our regular customers. Fall scup, sea bass, cod. A 4.0 bait holder. This is where the bait holders come into play. I don't know if anybody can see that, but it's got barbs. You can see it actually. It's got barbs, okay? That holds the bait on. When we cut the bait a lot bigger, that holds the clam on, so to say, a lot easier, especially for the bigger species. Bigger octopus hook.
Octopus hooks.
Okay. You always want to use the octopus hooks.
Good choice.
Or the J hooks. The only time these circle hooks come into play, like these are our night bass hooks. A lot of you are familiar with these. Like I said, for example, these giant ones, not what we're using, just for size, just to see. The circle hooks are actually mandatory now for night bass or for any type of live bait fishing. So you have to use those. That's what we use. And you do not want to set the hook with the circle hooks. I know a lot of guys do. We see it from time and time again. Anything you like to add?
Well, some of the stuff we see on the boat, I mean, you try to get the people to do the right thing, and we even give them the rig sometimes for free just to cut the hook off. They're using some of the worst terminal tackle. I mean, I know they all want to catch them.
Yeah.
And the problem is we're judged on their ability. They catch them, we're heroes. If we don't catch them, we're bums.
Mm-hmm. We try and teach everybody to the best of their ability. That's why we're doing some of these talking tackles. One other thing.
This is a big one.
I think everybody knows what this is. Glenn, is that a good shot? Hook,
nice
diamond
shot.
jig and all. That is a regular J-hook Siwash hook, okay? A lot of these diamond jigs, this is another similar hook, you can show that as well. A lot of these diamond jigs, when you purchase them, they come with this. Everybody can see that. What is that?
Bad news.
That's a treble hook. Now, on some situations, yes, a treble hook is needed, but on these boats, you do not want the treble hook. You go to the single J hook.
These catch so much better. They're more expensive for us to put them on there, I'll be honest with you, that Siwash hook. I mean, a J hook is they have to sell it to a customer before they can catch a fish with it. So the J hook is less expensive, and that's why people put it on there. We buy the jigs, they're custom made for us, and then we have them, they come to us without the hooks, and then we buy the hooks separate and put the Siwash hooks on, and it makes a heck of a difference in the catch. There's no question about it. So do yourself a favor, buy the jigs, spend the extra money, get the Siwash hook for the diamond jigs. No ifs, ands, or buts.
Just in comparison, for those of you who maybe struggle to see these videos from different phones or viewing areas, circle hook, okay, J hook.
J hook.
All right, there's obviously two differences. I hope everybody can see that in the camera. Can you see it pretty good, Glenn?
There we go.
Maybe on the paper you can see. I'll hold on the paper. This is important because like I said, a lot of people show up with these style hooks that are curved. You want the straight J hook, okay? J, not the circle. See how it makes a circle? Yes, they're good for night bass and live bait fishing because they're mandatory now. But as soon as you go porgy fishing or sea bass fishing, you got to set the hook and wind like we preach time and time again. And it all starts with the octopus hooks and the circle and the J hooks, the bait holder hooks, what it may be. Glenn, your favorite. I know it's one of your most favorite thing to do, the drift rig. What is this used for, Glenn? Do you know?
Fluking.
Fluke, the famous.
Boy, I tell you, there's no fooling you. You're on your game tonight.
This is Glenn's favorite rig. Okay, it's got a sinker at the top. You put the sinker here. This drifts in the water column, and there's different style hooks, but you throw a bunch of teasers and hairy stuff on there. You put a piece of squid on.
The most important thing, you talk about a piece of squid, and people, we see this all the time. They put it on like they're doing a clam. They put it on there, and then the thing gets down there in the bottom, and it's spinning. You want to take that little strip of sea robin or whatever you're going to use, pork rind, squid, and you just want to just barely hook it on there so that it's fluttering in the current. It's towing nice and straight, and it's fluttering as it goes along. That's what you want, to have that thing spin around. And we preach this to customers, and yet you look down there and you'll see 3, 4, 5 people with the thing balled up on there, and as they're dropping it down, the thing's spinning. It's not going to... Sometimes it catches, don't get me wrong. I've caught tuna fish with tomato slices, but that's not your preferred bait. So if you do it the right way, you'll have much more success with it.
I think what also gets us too is, they show up with the stuff and they continue to put it on the wrong way, and we tell them time again. We can only tell you so many times because we got to move on to the next guy, but that's why we're doing these videos, so you can go back in your memory bank and see what we're doing.
You can bring that mule to water. You can't make him drink, no matter what.
For example, the night bass. I mean, we preach time and time again, you can't set the hook with those circle hooks. You'll lose the fish. And that first guy gets that first bite, and guess what he does? Sets that hook, loses that fish. And then you get the same guy that does it all night long, and he doesn't catch one. It's practice, practice, practice. And these videos, we hope,
you
shed a little light.
You should tell them about snelling. Not that we're going to go into it, but a lot of these hooks should be snelled. And not,
in certain occasions,
tied.
yes.
In certain occasions,
As far as night bass fishing, fluking, yes, snelling is the way to go. I know there's all sorts of different fluke rigs. Like I said, this is our opinion. People like to bucktail a lot, but as a standard drift rig, snelling usually is the way to go.
And I like it longer.
You do?
Yeah, you like it longer?
Fluking was never really my forte. I think Glenn was the best fluker around, weren't you, Glenn?
No.
Boy, he's on his toes tonight.
He's sharp. He's sharp.
Glenn, anything you'd like to say? Anything like to add?
Oh man, I can't think of
You
anything
can
else off my
you
head.
can get all these varieties of hooks, okay, at any local tackle shop. For us that we use all the time is J&B Tackle. They're very knowledgeable at J&B. That's located in Niantic, Connecticut. Most of you know that. If you go into J&B, somebody's always there to answer an important question. All these are popular hooks. You can purchase them all there. And you can ask them the same questions or the same stuff we're giving you right now. What's a good hook for the spring? Well, they'll lead you in the right direction. You can purchase this stuff offline, but take a mental note. And like I said, we're going to take a picture of this board when we're done with this video, and we're going to post it on our Facebook page. This way you guys can screenshot it from your phone, go back down the road and see exactly what I wrote down and what kind of hooks are down here for you guys to remember.
We don't want you showing up on the.
Yeah, please.
We don't want you showing up on the Black Hawk with the diamond jigs and the big circle hook, thinking that's
This
the
was
way
for
to go.
example. For example.
But we probably will. I tell you right now.
We will. Yes,
You
we
know.
will. We will.
But there was off topic now, just to help a couple of guys out. There was a guy that, and you know the reel. I told you the
Yeah, you
reel.
told me
What's
the
the reel?
Shimano 14A, the Trinidad.
Somebody wrote in 14.8
I own one.
Trinidad.
They're great reels.
And wanted to know a rod to match that would be good on the Black Hawk, and you can. recommend
Personally,
that.
I have a lot of custom rods made. Once you get a custom rod made, it's hard to go back to something off the shelf, in my opinion. Okay, a good rod I recommend is a Daiwa Proteus. Now, depending on what fish or species you're fishing for, that comes into play. The action of the rod. Now, what does that mean? Light action, medium heavy, extra heavy. That's something that you need to go to your local tackle shop or J&B for that matter, and they can point you in the right direction.
You can't get that information going to the bigger wholesale houses.
You
like
really
Cabela's
can't.
and Bass. I'm not knocking them or anything, but they, a lot of them guys, a lot of them salesmen are trying to sell you the best reel, what they make the most money on. Not that it's necessarily the best for you. So go to a good tackle store. There's plenty of them around.
Make sure you
got Fisherman's World down in Norwalk there. There's plenty of stores. Tell them what you want and let them show you a variety of rods. See what you like.
The other issue is we see with rods and reels. A lot of guys bring a conventional reel. Just for example, this is just a normal conventional reel. Okay, this reel faces you.
Where did we get that reel?
They were off of a couple reels in the shop. We're just going through a few.
What is this thing?
That's a depth counter.
Get rid of that.
For example, this is a conventional reel. Now we see time and time again, people show up and they're on spinning rods. All right, the guides are way bigger. Make sure you get the right rod.
Yeah, the right rod for the right
conventional reel, conventional rod. Okay,
spinning reel, spinning rod.
Mm-hmm. That's very important. We are trying to incorporate a couple of left-handed reels. I know they're pretty popular. A lot of guys ask. This is a left-handed here. We're going through a few of them. We're trying to incorporate. They're hard to get. I know some people ask, but we're trying to incorporate those throughout the summer this year for your pleasure. But we'll see what happens.
One more thing before we leave here tonight, and again, off topic, but one of the people was asking about releasing sea bass. I know it's a big problem. Mm-hmm. What happens when you... one of the things, when you bring that fish up fast, okay, that's its swim bladder pushing against its stomach, and its stomach is coming out. So you see a lot of people take a little hook and they'll
needle or whatever they use.
If you really, you can do that. The first thing to do is go slow. Bring the fish up slower, and it'll help the fish out. But so many customers, that's like a foot race. I mean, they want to get that.
them up and
They
get
want to
them
get
down.
that fish up so they can get back down and get another one. And if it's a short fish or a small fish or whatever, then you have a problem. It's not so much in the shallow water, but the deeper water, it definitely is a problem.
It makes a difference.
If you really want to take care of it the right way, and I know it's a pain in the neck, but we do it. You can take, when the season is closed or whatever, and we catch a big 5-6 pound sea bass, you can take the hook and hook the dorsal fin down next to the body. It's just skin. You got to be careful. Just hook it and then put the fish down and drop it to the bottom on your rig. And when you get it down to the bottom, all you got to do is go with the rod, and the hook will tear that little piece of skin, and the fish is down there where it came from.
His stomach is already decompressed.
His stomach, it's already decompressed. The swim bladder is decompressed. It's already in. That's the best way of doing it.
Time consuming, yes.
Time consuming. We can't do it on a head boat.
No.
Although we do it occasionally.
We have, yeah.
Like,
People do.
People do if they, instead of, because you see so many of them flopping around. And another thing, when you're releasing that fish, and so many people do this. I don't know why they do it. They must like basketball or something. They take the thing, and instead of putting it in the water, they throw it up in the air. Wow. I mean, and the fish has got enough problems. He's probably saying, "Don't throw me! For the love of God!"
Handle them the right way.
Handle them the right way.
Thumb in the mouth, drop them in the water. As easy as they came up, let them go the right way too.
I mean, I know 1 or 2 fish probably don't make a big difference in the world of fishing, but I'll tell you one thing: it makes a big difference to that fish. That I guarantee you.
That's true.
Do
we have any questions, Glenn? Or did we miss it? I'm sure there's.
I honestly didn't see any questions. Just a lot of
Really?
people are watching,
Okay, good. How many?
soaking up all the info.
We got some viewers.
54 right now.
Good. Like I said, folks, the feedback, the comments, the questions are very
'em
important
coming.
to us. We need them in the weeks to come. So when we do some more of these, we are going to. We got a couple of surprises coming up, I think, with the Talkin Tackles, where a restaurant.
Yeah,
might
we're
be
going to go to a
involved.
restaurant. We're going to get one of the more popular restaurants here in Niantic. We're going to do some fish cooking, show you the right way to do it, like we did last year, and they were real popular. So
This is just a start.
you did a great job tonight. I got
did
to
too.
compliment you. Really good.
Very
Boy,
nice,
outside.
very nice.
One of the best. And Glenn, superb job on the camera.
Thanks, means a lot.
NBC will be looking for you. Get your resume ready.
Golden Camera Award.
Maybe you can do the Super Bowl. Somebody might see it and say, "Boy, I want that guy."
Steady hand.
This is first of many
Okay,
Talkin
folks.
Tackles to come. Stay tuned. We'll be doing another one of these next week, and we look forward to you guys viewing in for us.
Thank you very much, folks. Okay, take care. Stay healthy. God bless.
Take care.